Hello there and welcome to a very special video on the Make Magic With Us channel. I'm Uncle Richard, who you may remember from Adam and Danielle's wedding where I was best man, or from some of the zoo videos that they've produced. And today is a very special video because today is a video without Danielle, without Adam, and without my cute nephew Edison, who you're not going to see any video of whatsoever today. Well, apart from that one, no more. Today is a very special day for me because I am getting the chance to go down to a luxury eco spa resort just north of Newquay in Cornwall called the Scarlet Hotel. Now, I will post a link below to the hotel so you can see what kind of place it is, but needless to say that it is very posh, it is very suave, it is very sophisticated. So I am very excited. It's the morning of the day that I go. It's probably about 10 o'clock now on Friday morning. So I am almost ready to go. I've just got to pack a few things and then we can get on our way. Now, as I've already said, the Scarlet Hotel is a very nice hotel and it's in Cornwall, which is lovely. I mean, I've been to Cornwall before many times and Cornwall itself doesn't get me excited, but this hotel definitely has got me very excited. Now, just to give you a bit of a flavour as to what this hotel is like and why I am so happy to be visiting this resort, let me read the following to you. Every room has an outdoor space, either a balcony or a private garden overlooking the sea. There is an indoor pool with floor-to-ceiling glass windows and hot tub, as well as natural reed filtered outdoor pool. There's cliff-top hot tubs. There are numerous gardens and every room has a sea view, including the restaurant and the lobby. Now, the reason I'm getting a chance to go to this hotel is that I actually won a competition just before we started to lock down for COVID-19. I won a competition that was being run by a company called MakeMagicWithUs, who are an Australian wine company. And MakeMagicWithUs is their zero alcohol, 0% alcohol range of wines. So I entered the competition online and I won what is equivalent to a £1,200 voucher. And I was given a choice of 5 hotels around the UK to visit. So I picked this one. And my whole booking, the whole process has been handled by the Ultimate Travel Company. So a big shout out to those guys, in particular Catherine Birchall, who's been looking after my account. So thank you, Catherine. And yeah, so now it's all booked and today's the big day. They have made me feel very welcome and very excited so far. I spoke to the hotel earlier on this week to confirm my reservation and to confirm my treatments, because I get 2 treatments as well. I get a cliff-top hot tub session, which is going to be Saturday, and just after that I'm going to go for a short spa journey, which, if I'm honest, I don't know what a short spa journey is. I'm assuming it's going to involve a massage probably and scented things and whatever, but I am still very excited. Oh, and just before I do actually start parking, I want to show you something real quick. I want to show you this, which I was provided with by the guys at the Ultimate Travel Company. Essentially, it's some kind of sort of, I don't know, part leather, part carbon fibre kind of wallet, which it's very nice, and it came and it had my itinerary in it as well, and as well as a luggage tag, which I'm not going to use for the purposes of this video, but still, it's all the same. It's very nice. So I've got my itinerary here. There you go. It says itinerary for Mr. Richard Slaughter. So what have I got? As I already said, I've told you about the treatments I already got, but I also have breakfast and dinner included. I've got a generous king room on the coastal garden level, which I'm told has sort of, rather than a balcony, has like a little sort of garden for itself, which I'm massively excited about, believe me. I've got dinner booked at 7:30 each evening, so that's tonight and tomorrow night. Short spa journey, yeah. Cliff top hot tub, yeah. I get use of the pools, the outdoor barrel cedar sauna. Again, I have no idea what that is. I'm looking forward to finding out though. The steam room, the natural outdoor swimming pool, The meditation room. I don't think I've ever been in a meditation room before, though there have been times when I could have done with one. And the room's going to be ready for me by 4 o'clock today. Feel free to arrive at the Scarlet anytime during your arrival stay to begin your Scarlet experience. There's going to be complimentary digital reading material, so free magazines and free books to download using their app by the looks of it. And yes, it's all looking very, very exciting. I'm getting more and more excited sat here as I am just waiting for it to happen. So I'm going to pack up. I'm going to get going because I don't think I can wait any longer. Depending on what time we get to Cornwall, I may decide to perhaps stop off somewhere on the way, because if the room's not ready till 4 o'clock, then there's no point there getting there at 1 o'clock. So let's see what we find on the way, shall we? Okay then, so I've got everything packed up now, so it's time to get going. So I'll see you a little bit later. Okay, so as you've probably seen from that video just there, it's not a very nice day today. In fact, it's quite wet, it's quite rainy, but I'm determined it's not going to ruin my day, it's not going to ruin my weekend. I was expecting it to be rainy and wet in Cornwall because it's Cornwall and it's the UK in October, so you know, that's what it is. It's always rainy. So I'm still excited and it's time to actually go. Okay, so I've now gotten to my first stop on the way, which is going to be Newquay Zoo. So it's not looking particularly nice outside. I don't know if I can show you in a little bit, but it's pretty much raining, it's wet, it's windy, it's not ideal zoo weather, if I'm honest, but you know, it's fine. I'm here. I'm guessing a lot of it's going to be indoors, so it's got to be worth it, isn't it, for a few hours? I mean, it's only sort of 1:30 here, so I've got plenty of time, so let's see what happens. Okay, first impressions so far. Newquay Zoo is rather small. Kind of like Bristol Zoo, which I like, but you know, you can get around it in an hour. Having spent 5 minutes here, I feel like I've already done half of the exhibits. We've got some deer of some kind in the background here, and that's probably the main animal I've seen so far. I mean, it's to do with the weather, obviously. There's a lot of stuff closed. The animals are all indoors, as you can imagine. So, first impressions, not great, to be honest with you. Don't get me wrong, it's a lovely place, and you know, I love zoos, I love aquariums, I love going to all those sorts of places, but really at the moment it's having paid £5 to park here for a few hours, it's not living up to what I was hoping for, but hopefully I'll get an hour or two out of it at least. Right next to me here, you can kind of see what you see a lot of at the moment in Newquay Zoo, sadly, which is this area is closed. All the indoor houses, the tropical house, which I'm outside of now, and a few others are all closed, sadly, at the moment. So I feel like I'm not necessarily going to get the whole Newquay Zoo experience that I would have done if I'd come this time last year. But you know, fingers crossed, there's still plenty to see, and yeah, we're going to have some more good times. Savannah, or rather the African savannah, in the beginning of October in the UK, where the winds are pretty strong, the rain is pretty hard, and the spirit in the camp is pretty low at the minute. There's not an awful lot of people here, as I guess is probably to be expected because it's term time, it's Friday rather than Saturday, and it's pretty bad weather, let's be honest. But we got the African savannah. We've got some zebra here behind me. There are some other animals just down here, some kind of wildebeest, I'm guessing. So it's not all bad. Got some animals. Yet another animal inside because of the wind and the cold and the rain. And to be honest with you, I can't blame them. Okay, well, next up we seem to have some kind of Asian area here, so let's go and have a look at that. We've got a sometimes imitation pagoda here, which looks quite interesting. Hopefully there'll be some animals still over here, and we'll get a chance to actually see something, which would be nice. So this is the Asian part of the zoo by the looks of it. We've got pagoda just over behind the tree there that you can just about make out. We've got some red bridge that I think is meant to look Japanese. We've got some a fake sort of bridge there, and sadly, like much of the park today, it's a bit sad and a bit lonely in the cold weather. So unfortunately, not the best day to see it. Hopefully we can come back another time and give it a good go, see it in its full glory. Sadly, I just found the otter house, and there's a sign here saying that the otters are actually locked into their house at the moment because of the amount of water flowing through their enclosure, which obviously we've just seen isn't an awful lot. So I can't even see the otters today, which is annoying. And with this sign here saying that otters bite, to be honest with you, I'd be bitten by an otter right now because I've not seen anything else of substantial things so far. So sadly, no otters today, but there's still lions, there's still penguins ahead, so hopefully I can see some of them. Okay, so now I'm inside the Gems of the Jungle exhibit, which to me just looks like a collection of birds. We've got quite a few different types here. We've got some silver-eared messier, some white-rumped shama, some blue-crowned hanging parrots, some red-tailed laughing thrushes, and some barred doves. So it's good to see them. It's a shame they couldn't be outside, but actually their enclosure is pretty much completely indoors anyway, so I don't think they get let out anytime. But hopefully there are some more Gems of the Jungle in here. Otherwise, it doesn't say much about how many gems there are in the jungle, does it? Okay, well, forget what I just said about there not being too many gems in the jungle, because we're now in the rest of the Gems of the Jungle exhibit, which appears to be a collection of sort of bird areas just off the path and under a nice roof here, which is why I've got the mask on. So you can probably just see in the background there are some birds sort of flying around and some walking on the paths there. So let's go check some out. Okay, well, this fella is definitely not afraid to stray onto the path. In fact, there's another one just there as well. These guys seem to be free to wander around this exhibit, and they're not the only ones. In fact, you can see, I think that's some kind of pigeon there, isn't it? Just strutting around. No particular fear of me being here. So this is quite nice. I like this. I like this a lot. It's nice to be able to get in and amongst them. I guess kids probably go up to them and try and touch them and stuff like that. But no, on a day like this where it's nice and quiet, they can walk around here relatively unmolested and hopefully enjoy themselves a bit. And we've got some animals, some birds here. Some more walking around over there. Ooh, who's this yellow fellow with the yellow breast over here? Oh wow. Look at these guys. He's vibrating. You can hear that sound he's making. Look at that, that's beautiful. And in fact, it's beautiful, kind of like the rest of the exhibit. I mean, this is lovely. Got this nice little sort of artificial stream sort of running down the centre here, down into this pool at the bottom. As I say, we've got birds running around. We've got some exhibits here with various birds inside it. We've got some Chinese birds, well, yeah, Southeast Asian birds by the looks of it. Some doves, some musia, some laughing thrushes again, a partridge at the top there, So yeah, this is pretty nice. Probably my favourite bit so far. And trying to leave the exhibit, I've got some pheasant pigeons here in my way. Just sort of wandering around again, just feeling free. There's no feeling of frightenedness from them, from seeing humans. So they're quite happy just to wander around and get in your way and stop you leaving. Regrettably, it seems that the tapirs have decided to do what most of the zoo has done and decided to stay inside in the warm, which I can understand completely. But no, hopefully we'll get to see some penguins and some lions soon, and it won't be too much of an issue. And in fact, no sooner do I record saying that the tapirs are inside than one of them actually comes out. You can see him just next to the tree there, which is fantastic. It's nice to see him out. It's nice to see anything out in this weather. It's really starting to get pretty bad, but I'm hoping penguins are pretty hardy, so I'm hoping to see them up next. Luckily, if there's one animal that can deal with rain, that can deal with cold, that can deal with poor weather, it's definitely the penguin. And penguins are one of my favourite animals, so it's fantastic to see them out. I think we've got some Humboldt penguins here, which are particularly hardy, I think, so fantastic to see something out. So we didn't get to see the tapir in the end, so perhaps things are turning around now, and perhaps I'm going to start seeing a lot more animals, but I am on the home stretch in terms of animal exhibits, so hopefully I'll see some more before I get going. Okay, so after the lions, we now have the Madagascar walkthrough, which has exhibits all on both sides of Madagascar animals. So let's go see if we can see some. Right here we can see some crowned lemurs. This one's particularly camera friendly. You see one just up at the back there. Oh, there we go. That's pretty cool. At the very back there, underneath that shelter, very wisely are some Vasa parrots, which I guess don't like the strong wind for obvious reasons, and don't like the rain for obvious reasons. Other than that, they've got a pretty nice exhibit here. Lots of grasses and lots of plants and a tree trunk there. Sad faces, I'm afraid. The Sulawesi crested black macaques are inside and, much like the rest of the zoo, trying to keep warm. And here, hiding away in the shelter, near the food of the cafe, are the peacocks. Surprise, surprise. There's only here to annoy them today, so they're just hanging out, just chilling by the gift shop and by the cafe. Okay then, so I'm back in the car. I've left the zoo. I tried to get a hot drink there, but the cafe's actually shut at the minute, which is a bit sad. But just a quick zoo review. Having come out, my first thoughts are that good, bad and ugly. First of all, good. I mean, it's a zoo, first of all. I mean, it's animals, it's things you don't see every day. And more importantly, by going, you are supporting these kinds of organisations who look after these kinds of animals, who look after endangered species and ensure that, you know, in the future, our children and our grandchildren are going to be able to see these animals. So that is only a good thing. Also on the good front, despite it being small, they do cram an awful lot of exhibits into that space. And they do have some animals which I wouldn't really expect to see from a zoo this size. So they had the lions, for example, which, you know, aren't all that common really. I mean, there's very few zoos that have like proper lions these days. Not that I got to see them outside, of course. They were all sat inside, but you know, it's the weather, what can you say? Bad, on the bad front, as I said, it is a small zoo. I mean, it kind of reminds me of Bristol Zoo in a lot of ways. In fact, I suggest it's probably a little bit smaller than Bristol from what I remember. Being so small, it does mean that you're sort of taking an hour, maybe less, to go around it and see everything. I mean, obviously it depends on whether you linger and whether you look at certain animals more than others, or whether you get to, you know, whether you have more pleasure or whatever looking at the penguins than you do, you know, macaques or something. But generally it is a small zoo, so you are going to be done in, you know, an hour or so, even though they do quite a lot for
for what they have in terms of size. And to be honest with you, it doesn't look like they can expand, so it's kind of understandable. Also bad at the moment, the weather is awful, so there aren't a lot of people there, so there's not really much atmosphere to the zoo. Normally small zoos, it's quite nice when they're quite busy, I find, because, you know, there's a bit of a buzz, there's a bit of excitement going around. You know, people are looking and people are enjoying themselves looking at certain animals, and it's just not there today. The atmosphere really wasn't there today. Finally, ugly. Well, the one thing that's been ugly for the last 6 months, 9 months down in the UK is this COVID-19 breakout. So there is a lot of stuff in the zoo at the moment. There are a lot of houses which are closed. The tropical house, for example. There's sections of the like a farm area they had there, which was also closed. And I appreciate it can't be helped. And to be fair to Newquay Zoo, they probably have the best COVID-19 sort of protection facilities there that I have seen. I mean, there are hand washes absolutely everywhere. There's, you know, like hand gels being given out. There's proper nice signage as well saying, you know, can't go in here, or this is a one-way zone, you've got to go in the other way, or whatever. They're really well prepared, they're really well organized, and that definitely comes through in the way that they're managing things. The one-way system is all marked out on the floor in arrows, and, you know, you couldn't really ask for more in terms of prevention and in terms of helping people to come back to the zoo and feel safe. So I take my hat off to them for that. But yeah, COVID really is ruining things at the moment for them. Also on the ugly front, the weather. I mean, the weather is awful today. I mean, I don't know whether you can hear it in the background, but it's very windy, it's very wet, and that means that the animals are going to hide inside. They are going to stay in the warm, where a lot of them, you know, like where a lot of them come from. So that's understandable. So, you know, that's pretty bad. Other than that, ugly. I mean, if I was being really harsh, I'd say, well, it's school time. That probably doesn't help because there weren't a lot of people there. There were a lot of staff there. Don't get me wrong. They seemed to have a lot of staff there, which was good. There were people, you know, everywhere going around cleaning and cutting and doing things like that. So I'm sure the animals are being well looked after. So that can only be a positive thing. But overall, I don't really know how I feel about the zoo at the moment. I want to say that I'm disappointed, but really bearing in mind the conditions, bearing in mind the situation we're in, it's hard to be disappointed with it. I mean, it's a small zoo, it's doing good work, which is the main thing I think that any zoo should be doing, and it's conserving animals around the world. So I can't help but, you know, despite it being a bit of a lackluster experience today, I get the feeling that if I came back in the future when it was a bit sunnier, it was a bit busier, and all the exhibits were back open again, maybe after COVID-19's done and we've all got our vaccines, I think I could really enjoy myself there. So yeah, big thumbs up from me, and yeah, let's come back sometime in the future. Okay, I've just checked the map and I'm only about 20 minutes away from the hotel, so as good a time as I had at the zoo, I'm hoping I'm going to have an even better time once I get to the hotel and start to see the facilities and have some dinner and, you know, get a hot drink inside me, which I couldn't get in the zoo, sadly. So let's go to the hotel and let's see what's going on. Okay, so I've just arrived, and first impressions are, what a palaver to park. Jesus. I don't know if you can see particularly well here, but I'll take a video later on. But looking down the hill, there is just a parking nightmare. It's a parking catastrophe here. There's just every space is taken up. The road outside that you can kind of see over there where that blue car is basically a very narrow single track. So there's no possibility whatsoever of parking along there. So I basically had to wait for someone to come out. I've turned around at least twice, but I finally squeezed myself into a corner space here, so thank God for that. I'm going to go check in, and I'm going to see what my room's like and hopefully take a weight off, take a load off and relax and enjoy myself. But from the collection of BMWs, Audis, 4x4s here, I think this is a rather nice place, and a little bit nicer than the typical Premier Inn that I stay in, so let's see. Okay then, initial impressions. My first impression and the first word that comes to mind is, wow, what a place this is. I mean, I've been here probably half an hour and already I do not want to leave, believe me. It's funny though. It's a funny place. I mean, I pulled up. I managed to park my car eventually. There's not a lot of car parking space here, believe me. But I pulled up in my car, took my bag out, and as I started walking down the car park towards the reception, oh my God, there are a lot of 4x4s here. Audi 4x4s, BMW 4x4s, sort of Mercedes 4x4s. There is a lot of money staying in this building right now. So my Ford Focus estate probably looks rather out of place in the corner of the car park right now. But that said, it is lovely so far. I mean, I went into the reception area. They do not have a traditional reception. There's no desk for you to sort of wait at and hit the bell and wait for the person to come and serve you. It is literally just a seating area where you sit down and you wait a few minutes and they come out and find you. And then I had a lovely lady who was obviously French run through exactly everything about the hotel, essentially, including the rooms. My room has changed, but the room I'm in is absolutely lovely right now. I'll give you a tour in just a sec, but it's unbelievable. I've got my papers ordered for the morning, of course, which I don't tend to get a Premier Inn or a Travelodge, but no, I'm very impressed right now. As I said, I think in a previous video, this is an eco hotel, so they don't have air conditioning and they don't do sort of, leave you coffees and teas and whatever on the desk. You just ring up reception basically, and say, I want a tea brought to my room, please, and that's fine. They also give you some eco-friendly slippers as well. Let's see if I can find mine. Hang on. So we have complimentary recyclable slippers to take away, which are very nice, and the room is unbelievable. It's far nicer than anything I've ever stayed in before, except maybe when I stayed at the Animal Kingdom Lodge in Florida. But I've got a view outside there towards the coast in Cornwall, which is very relaxing. It's amazing to see. I've got about 2 hours now until I've got dinner, so I don't know really what to do with myself at the moment. I mean, the room's so nice. I've just checked the TV out, which is sort of over here, and it's got they've got their own streaming service. They've got all iPlayer, ITV Player, 4 on demand, and My5 there as well. So you can catch up with absolutely loads of films and loads of content just to relax. Everything from, Gladiator to The Naked Gun in terms of film choices, and various other things, as well as obviously having a TV, as well as having TV stations as well. So I'm thinking I'm going to go for a swim in the outdoor pool, which is reed filtered. It's seawater apparently, so it's going to be very, very cold, because if you haven't already been able to tell from the video of the zoo earlier on, it is a bit cold, it is a bit windy, and it is a bit wet today. So I'm going to go for a swim and then come back, have a shower, and then have dinner in the hotel, and then maybe go to the library or the relaxation room afterwards, and maybe spend the night relaxing and reading a book, maybe playing pool, maybe playing one of 100 other games that they've apparently got here, board games, card games. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I was just talking about how mental this place is, how crazy this place is. I mean, look at that view. Wow, that is breathtaking view. I mean, I've just come to the outdoor pool, which is sort of just behind the camera over there, but wow, what a gorgeous, gorgeous view. I mean, over the Atlantic, just looking at the sea there, it's so relaxing, it's so unbelievably gorgeous. Wow, I'm so excited. I'm just going to get in the pool anyway, freeze my arse off, and you can all laugh, but wow. So I'm next to a cold, natural outdoor pool, and this is reed-filtered seawater, and I'm pretty sure that it's absolutely freezing. I've had the chance to sit down and get my courage up, and I'm going to do my best to just jump in straight away. Jumping in and doing these things without thinking is usually the best way in dealing with it. So I'm going to get undressed and just go for it. So hopefully I survive it, and if I do, I'll see you on the other side. Honestly, after a few minutes of swimming in the cold, cold water. It really doesn't feel that cold anymore. Your body gets used to it. This is unbelievable. Talk about therapeutic. Wow. Just to emphasize what type of pool this is all natural. There's plants, there's algae on the floor. It's so slippery, it's unbelievable. But it is absolutely amazing. Beautiful views over the coast and fantastic view back at the hotel. I've just got back from the cold pool and I'm shivering like hell at the minute, as you can probably tell. I did walk back via the path down to the coast, and it's fantastic views down there. Anyway, I've got dinner at 7:30, so I'm going to jump in the shower and then go have some food. And yeah, I'm looking forward to eating because I haven't eaten for a few hours now.